While being a world leader may come with its difficulties, especially in the current climate, there are a few notable perks of the job. One of the perks of being head of state is occupying grand residences with ample staff to take care of your every need. If you've ever wondered which world leaders are living it up in the largest residences, then this video is for you. Before we dive in, make sure you don't miss our next video and subscribe with the button down below. Number 10. The White House, USA, 55,000 square feet. The palatial White House building, which houses the President of the United States of America, is instantly recognizable with its large Greek columns towering 6 stories high. The White House dates back to 1792 and has served as the residence for the president ever since. It boasts 133 rooms and 32 bathrooms on 18 acres of property, including multiple expansive gardens. While the White House's 55,000 square feet may seem massive, it's actually on the smaller side of the world leaders' residences, especially considering that the president and his staff also work in the $400 million building. Number 9. Sōri Daijin Kantei, Japan, 56,000 square feet. Sōri Daijin Kantei is the home and workplace of the Prime Minister of Japan, Yoshihide Suga. The original Kantei building was rebuilt in 2002, stands 5 stories tall with an additional story underground, and totals 56,000 square feet. The building, valued at $702 million, is a reflection of its position on prime real estate in Japan's capital of Tokyo. It was inspired by an American architect and isn't particularly regal or ostentatious. The design concept is meant to evoke the simple beauty of the Japanese aesthetic. The construction was made from traditional Japanese building materials such as wood, stone, Japanese paper, and clay. Number 8. Elysee Palace, France, 118,000 square feet. French President François Hollande presides in the Elysee Palace, which is across the English Channel and down the street from the Arc de Triomphe. Both the Elysee Palace and the nearby Champs-Élysées Avenue take their names from the Greek word Elysium, the mythical Greek afterlife reserved for fallen heroes. Like many structures in Europe, the palace is very old. It dates back to the 17th century and became the official residence for France's head of state in 1870. In 1808, the palace was purchased by Napoleon Bonaparte, who lived there for a few years before its ownership changed hands and eventually became the official residence of the president. France's Fifth Republic president, François Mitterrand, didn't like that foreign state officials stayed at the palace during visits. To ensure greater privacy, Mitterrand's government purchased the adjacent Hôtel de Mirigny as the guest residence for visiting kings and state officials. The palace contains art from many renowned French painters and is worth $1.9 billion. With 65 rooms, the palace boasts 118,000 square feet. Number 7. Black Sea Palace, Russia, 200,000 square feet. While Vladimir Putin, Russia's current president, officially lives in one of 7 state-owned residences, it's suspected that Putin inhabits a private property that has been deemed Putin's palace in Cape Ida-Kapos. Allegedly, Putin used taxpayer money to purchase the property by establishing a shell corporation. The lavish mansion reportedly cost over $1.4 billion. The land the estate sits on has been compared to its own state inside of Russia and occupies 74 hectares, or 3 times the size of its neighboring city. The property is decked out with an underground hockey rink and even an ice cream palace. Number 6. Palace of Moncloa, Spain, 352,000 square feet. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez resides in the Palace of Moncloa in Madrid. The property, which sits in the middle of the capital city, is worth around $209 million. The palace dates back to the 17th century and was repurposed as the official residence of the Prime Minister in 1977 during the transition from monarchy to democracy. The palace is 352,000 square feet of living and working space and includes 16 buildings, a bunker, and even a hospital on its premises. Number 5. Quirinal Palace, Rome, 1.2 million square feet. The Quirinal Palace sits atop the highest hilltop in Rome. The palace has been the residence of kings, popes, and most recently, presidents. The palace is one of 3 official residences of the president and dates back to the 16th century. While the palace was chosen as a residence for Napoleon Bonaparte during his reign as emperor, he never actually lived in it before the French defeat in 1814. With 1.2 million square feet of space, the palace is 20 times the area of the White House. The building houses several historical rooms such as the Pauline Chapel, a twin of the Sistine Chapel. The grounds also have gardens that span 10 acres, including a famous water organ that is fed by a waterfall. The palace is wrought with history, so much so that there's even a trapdoor on the grounds to archaeological excavations of temples and relics from the imperial age. Number 4. Rashtrapati Bhavan, India, 2.2 million square feet. Sitting on an expansive 338-acre estate in New Delhi, the Rashtrapati Bhavan is home to India's President Ram Nath Kovind. The palace was designed by a British architect and completed in 1929. The construction fuses Indian and Western architecture using red and cream sandstone. The residence, which is worth roughly $654 million, includes 340 rooms, 37 fountains, and extensive gardens across the grounds, terraces, and rooftops. The Mughal gardens, which were inspired by the Taj Mahal, are considered one of the ground's most remarkable features, and they draw visitors from around the world every year when they are open to the public during the Udayanotsav festival. Number 3. Blue House, South Korea, 2.7 million square feet. The president of South Korea, Chang-won-dae, currently resides in an enormous complex in the capital of Seoul. The complex, which is built with the traditional Korean architectural style, is named the Blue House. The Blue House totals over 2.7 million square feet and encompasses multiple buildings. While the blue roof tiles and architecture may appear traditional, the Blue House has extremely high security and is the most protected official residence in Asia. Number 2. The Presidential Compound, Turkey, 3.2 million square feet. The president of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, decided to build a brand new palace in 2014. The palatial compound, which cost over $1.2 billion to build, has been nicknamed Aksaray or White Palace. The palace covers 3.2 million square feet with over 1,150 rooms, which makes it quadruple the size of the Museum of Versailles in France. The palace sits atop a hill in the capital of Ankara and is easily recognizable with tall columns and marble corridors. While the palace is impressive, it's also been controversial among Turks. First, in order to build on the hill, they had to cut down trees that were located on a forest reserve dating back to the nation's founding father, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. And second, the price was another area of contention, as it was over twice the scoped budget of $600 million. Additionally, the president spent an additional $155 million on more additions and furnishings. Many critics of the complex have critiqued the architecture, likening it to mutt since it appears to draw inspiration from a myriad of styles. Number 1. Zhongnanhai, China, 37 million square feet. Zhongnanhai is the residence of both China's premier Xi Jinping as well as headquarters for the Communist Party. The palace was built on the former imperial gardens of Beijing and is worth around $38.8 billion. That's about 0.3% of China's entire GDP. The compound currently acts as a symbol of wealth and prosperity for the Communist Party. Many consider Zhongnanhai to be the most luxurious presidential palace on Earth. The property contains amenities such as a tennis court, indoor pool, and a pool house, though the complex's 37 million square feet of buildings haven't been open to the public for many years. If you were president of the world, which palace would you move into? Tell us in the comments below. If you liked this video, make sure to hit the like button and check out our next video. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video.